Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Yeah, that's good.
But today I'm excited because we are going to be talking about a deep dive into the sauna. I totally lost my train of thought there for a second. Sorry. We're talking about the sauna today, and it's a biohack that is it's life-changing. I mean, it's just rising in popularity these days,
Yeah.
I feel like too, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're a beginner or you're a pro, stick with us, and we're going to talk about how the sauna can improve your mood. It is huge on detoxing,
Yes.
great on cardiovascular health, especially for women. That's a hot topic, and helps with muscle recovery. It does all of the things that that we want and that we need in our life. And I think everybody should try it. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, when I used to go to I still go, but the one right by me is under construction, so I haven't gone recently. But the Korean body scrubs, like where you go into the Korean spas, they have lots of saunas and all different types, and I love that. It is so nice and helpful because then you can go in and do the dry sauna. You can go do they have like a cold one. They have like all these different rooms for the different needs, and I love it.
Yeah. Dude, that's cool.
It is great because they scrub and they take off a whole layer of everything on your skin, like everywhere. And it's so amazing. And then I get it comboed with a massage. So then I get and then I end it with a massage, and then they wash my hair, and oh my gosh.
And you get to go into the sauna too?
Well, yeah. So before we could have a whole episode just on Korean body scrubs, because before you even go in, then you're supposed to come in, you have to shower, and then you have to go in and you're supposed to sit. They want you to sit a minimum of 30 to 40 minutes in the jacuzzi or in the saunas before you even go up for your scrub. So
that is
there's
so
a whole
cool.
process to it. There's an art form to it. But that's the only place I have a sauna. You have a sauna, but I don't have a sauna. So I'm missing that because I don't get that. But how often do you sauna?
So I try to sauna at least 3 times a week, the goal being 5, because you really want to get past 4 for peak benefits, I think.
And
but they say even 2 to 3 can be
beneficial.
Yeah. Yep. So today we'll talk about, I can get into the science of kind of the research that we've done.
Yeah. Why is the sauna beneficial to us women?
So it's interesting because we actually got a sauna because of my husband, of course, who is an avid Joe Rogan Experience fan. And that's really what got him onto it. But then as soon as we started doing any research, it was crazy. I think one of the statistics that drew us both in is it's like this use of the sauna. I think it's like 4 times a week above 150 degrees shows a 40% decrease in all-cause mortality, which is insane. It's just crazy, that statistic. It was this huge study that they did. And saunas have been around for, I feel like, all of time, right? It's been a very big cultural thing for a lot of cultures. It's been a very big health and wellness thing that I just feel like lately has become a trend. But we've been using the sauna for years now. And the thing that's great about it for women, for men and women, what the sauna does is it's heat immersive experience, right? Where you're triggering your body to produce heat shock proteins. And so just like when we talked about the cold plunge with the cold shock proteins, you're trying to create an extreme environment where your body will be triggered to create heat shock proteins. And these things they do so much to protect your body. They will protect and repair damaged proteins. They'll protect oh my gosh, I can't even we'll talk. Protect cells from stress. That should not have been that hard. But it's reducing inflammation. It just does. It's just this superhero, this super ninja you release into your body. And it just does so many things to protect it that it's no wonder why it does so much for you long term, right? But the thing that I love about it for women the most is how much it helps with cardiovascular health, because really going into the sauna is like, you go in there, it's 150, 160 degrees. You're in there for 20 minutes, and 15 or 20 minutes. And it's like working out, just sitting there.
Yeah.
It's like a heart cardio workout, right?
Because it's my kind of workout.
I know, right? No stress on the knees. I got arthritis in my 30s. I do not need to run anymore.
But then you get so you sit in there, but then you get the sweat like you would work out, but then you don't hurt your joints, and then it helps with your inflammation and all that.
It gets your heart rate going. Yeah. It gets you're sweating. You just like drip sweat. Like those are all good things, but like you do have to be careful, obviously, right? Like you don't want to be in there for too long. You need to really pay attention to your hydration. And that really ties back to when we talked about magnesium, right? And I did all the lab works, and I was deficient in magnesium. And then I took magnesium supplements, and I got retested a year later, and I was still deficient. I was like, how is this possible? But then I think about the fact that I sauna so much, right? Like I sauna 3, 4, 5 times a week, rarely 5. It's more like 3 or 4. And that just causes you to shed minerals faster, right? And so it's something that I have to consider, that if I'm doing the sauna that much, I have to replenish more than the average person would have to.
Yeah. And it like keeps it like for all of us in the back of our minds, like as we do detoxing type things, we have to make sure that we replenish more than normal because of the benefits of detoxing, which gets out all the junk in our system as well. But it also can also deplete us with magnesium.
Yeah. And that's one of the other things that it really does, right? Is detoxing. Like it takes such a huge load off of our liver. And it's one of the best ways to shed heavy metals, a lot of the things that we run into in our environment that's just clogging our systems, right? It's a very good way to sort of detox those things and have less stress on the body normally, and less stress on the liver, right? And so that's one of the huge things for me, is it's cardiovascular health, the detoxing benefits of it. And then it's also, honestly, sometimes when I'm sick, like I have a cold, like a head cold or congestion or things, we have a dry sauna, but it has like rocks that you can like put water on and make it steam. And that's one of my favorite things to do, like a little eucalyptus oil, get the steam going. It's like a slap in the face, and then you can breathe. Like, so I really, it's what we do. So like when I'm like a cold coming on, I'm like, all right, I got to go in the sauna every day and work through this cold,
And so you have a dry sauna. Let's go over the types of sauna. So, so you have the dry sauna, which has the cardio benefits and like the sweating and intense workout and the cardiovascular. And then there's the infrared saunas, which is really popular right now, like where you can get on Amazon, you can get an infrared tent and you can put it up in your house, and then you can sit in there. And so that only heats up. So a dry sauna will heat up 150 to 190. Like actually it could go as hot as you want, 195. And then the infrared saunas are 120 to 140. So they're a little more gentle than the dry sauna as far as heat intensity. And the infrared saunas are great for detoxification, like pain relief. And if you're heat sensitive, and then, which I'm not heat sensitive, which I found out at your house.
We'll tell that story here in a minute.
And gentler, it's a gentler way, to introduce into sauna, but you still get a lot of benefits. And then another one is you could just steam up a room and in high humidity, like 110, 120 degrees, but there hasn't been a lot of research on that. So like, I'm sure it does have some benefits and like respiratory health, but
I imagine like a hot steamy shower would be like the same way, like steaming up a room, right?
Yes, exactly.
But probably not quite the same, I can imagine, because you don't put really the huge benefit of the sauna is the heat shock proteins, where you're putting your body under enough stress that it's triggered to produce those proteins that repair and protect your body, right? Like that's over time what's giving you the longevity and so many of these things that we look for in biohacking, right? Yeah. So, there's lots of different ways, and you're currently researching kind of what you want to do, right? Because I know that like a lot of people, the way that they get access to a sauna, and this is community centers, are such a fantastic resource, because they usually have big saunas that
Or spas.
Or spas,
Gyms.
yes, like the one that you go to, like, and gyms have them. That's very common. So I feel like it's more readily available than cold plunges are, which is good because I feel like there's so many benefits to the sauna. But yeah, sorry, continue what you were saying about shopping.
But I will go back. But to go to, so when I'm looking at shopping, so like when I was at your house and I was trying out, I loved it. It's something I could totally do that often. I loved it. But when I was looking at my house, I was like, I can't go big yet. Right. So I have to work up to it. And so I've been looking at portable tents that you can get, and they're very interesting. They're have a wide range of like $100 to $300, like it's a wide range, not a wide range, but like it's a doable range. Yeah. But most of them are the infrared saunas where they don't quite get up to the 150, 195, which you were talking about for some of the cardiovascular things. But for me, that's a starting point. So that's what I'm going to start with, and then see how I like it, and then go from there. But I want to do it regularly because you know how the benefits are 3 to 5 times a week. Like I want to make sure I can do it 3 to 5 times a week to really get that benefit. But I'm going to have to start on the infrared side, which I think is fine. And you might, and that might be all that I need.
Well, and I do think that those numbers are subjective because there have been times, for the years that we've been sauning that we're both just like not feeling 100%, where we get that we can feel the stress of the sauna at 130 degrees, right? Versus sometimes we're in there at 165, and 130 feels the same to us on our down days as 165 does on our good days. Like it depends a lot of things. Like, did we work out right before we got in? That makes a big difference on how quickly we feel the stress of the heat, right? Get the heart rate going, and like sometimes you get a little bit of light dizziness or nausea. Like that's usually a sign that you've reached the point where your body's releasing the heat shock proteins. And for me, that's when I get out. I'm like, I don't need a migraine. I don't need to pass out in here. Like that's just not gonna. And then, Chris, my husband, being the extremist, is like, yes, 10 more minutes. And I'm like, you are crazy. I'm leaving. And then we have our wool Viking hats. I was just going to show a picture. And so it's very fitting that he's like, this is it. Like 10 more minutes. Yeah. Vikings.
I was thinking that's funny that you said that, because I literally was like, this is new since last time I was here. What is this? What are these like Viking helmet hats? And she's like, they protect your head when you're in there.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference as far as like tips, which we can talk about. But first, let's talk about your crazy heat resistance, because not all people are the same, right? Because I can get in at 130 degrees, and after 15 minutes, I'm feeling nauseous and headachy and dizzy. But like you got in and we had let it get really hot. It was like 170 when we got in there. And me and your son are like dying. We're like dripping in sweat. And I'm not a sweater. So if I'm sweating, it's hot. And you were still in your robe, comfy and cozy, like we were just sitting next to the fire having a chat with girlfriends.
Oh, because had I just cold plunged?
Not that time, I don't think. Had you?
I think
I felt like that was the day that you didn't cold plunge. That's why I was, because the first day you were like that, but you had cold plunge. So I was like, you should stay longer because it takes you, if you cold plunge right before you get in the sauna, it takes you longer to reach that point of an internal temperature, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, which we should talk about the order, because that does make a difference.
Yes, because it is like, know your body, you were like, I'm done. My son was done. He's like, oh, this is hot. I don't know how you're not dying. And so they got out, and I stayed, and I did get to the point where I took off the robe, and, and I was getting sweaty, but it took me another like 5 or 10 minutes beyond you guys to get to that point. Yep. So it is interesting how everybody has a different level of like where you got to know your body, own your health and know your body, because you don't know what is going to work for you and what's going to work. It's not going to be the same for all of us.
It's really
that was really interesting.
Yeah. And there are a lot of other factors too, like your hydration level. I tend to be dehydrated on a regular basis, which is why we do our hydration challenges, right? That's been a big challenge. And so that makes it harder to get into the sauna. Like my body stresses sooner because it's more dehydrated than the average person who might get in, right? So, and then again, if you're working out right before you get into the sauna, your muscles are already hot. You're already a little sweaty. Like that sauna is going to affect you sooner than somebody who, say, just got in the cold plunge and then came into the sauna, and then they're extra cold coming in and need longer
So
to
it takes
warm up.
yeah.
Right.
What
So
is the appropriate timing if you are going to mix biohacks? Like, for example, which the sauna and the cold plunge are great biohacks to share or to combine. Like, what is
yes.
the order?
So this has been like the foundation, I think, of my routine is I do both of those regularly. But the thing to make sure is the sauna is really great for muscle recovery and things like that. So getting in after a workout is perfectly fine. Getting in the sauna after a workout. The thing that you don't want to do is say, I go downstairs, I go to the gym and I work out, and then I want to get into the cold plunge. Well, the cold plunge while it has a ton of benefits, it can actually interfere with the process of muscle building and muscle recovery, right? So the sauna is going to help with muscle recovery and muscle building. But if you want to use the cold plunge for those benefits, you have to wait a full like 4 hours after you're done working out. So you don't want to do it right after. So the thing that I do is I usually go down and I cold plunge first. And then I use a workout to warm my muscles back up naturally, right? Which is maximizing the metabolism boosting effects, right? Is I'm gonna manually warm my muscles back up with movement instead of jumping right into a sauna. It's not the end of the world to get into the sauna right after the cold plunge, but I think I have found in all the research that I've done and in talking to like doctors at Ways to Well and stuff, they were like, don't get in the cold plunge right after you work out. And honestly, it's better to sauna before you cold plunge if you're going to. Like, it's perfectly okay to get into the sauna and reach the point where you release those heat shock proteins and you're just so hot and sweating and you just are feeling like you can feel the stress that you've put through like a good workout, to get out of there and go straight to the cold plunge, because it doesn't matter how fast you cool down, it's about getting that hot, right? So I will either get in the cold plunge and then work out and sauna later that night before bed, because it also helps with sleep, which we can talk about in a second. Or that's like the first thing one of the things I'll do, or else I will sauna and then I don't like to stay that hot. So I will get right out of the sauna and jump right into the cold plunge, because it's an instant cool down.
Crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
I was like, you are crazy. There's no way I would do that.
But didn't you ever go hot tubbing when you were, in high school or whatever, and jump right out of the hot tub and jump into the snow? Did you ever do that? Or like a hot tub and then you go and jump into a cold pool? Did you ever do that?
Well, actually, when you go to like spas, they usually have like a cold pool and you get into a hot pool. Yeah. Like they do that. But I mean, the cold plunge that you have is very extreme. Like going from the hot sauna to like the cold plunge is like 50 degrees. That's an extreme. Well, I still, now that I say it out loud, it doesn't sound extreme, but I couldn't imagine doing it.
I would say it's invigorating. I love it because it is so, I just feel like you get such a bigger like dopamine release from it. You know what I mean? That it's so
like,
extreme.
I'm alive.
Because you're like in 170 degrees, you've worked hard in there, you sweated it out, you get out and you jump right into 50 degrees. You're just like, woo, I won't scream on this podcast, but that is really how
I'm awake.
I feel. Yes. Yeah. I'm alive.
I could totally see that, because it is like, that definitely is what that cold plunge does, is that it boosts you up mentally and you're very clear and wide awake and very pumped up. So I can see coming from that, it would be even more dramatic coming from heat. I feel like cold.
It like amplifies the effects is what it feels like to me. And so those are the two ways I do. I either do it like first thing and then I warm up to work out, and that's very rewarding too, because you get in a good cold plunge, you feel really good, and then you get in a good workout. And then you finish working out and you're not cold, because it's really hard to, that's the hard part, is like you're cold plunging and then you just go, like you're busy, you just cold plunge right before you had to go do something, and then I'm cold and it takes me an hour and a half, 2 hours to warm up naturally. Versus if I do a little yoga or something afterwards or a little bit of weightlifting, that process is faster and then I'm not as cold all day. But then the sauna is fantastic because I get into the sauna and then I cold plunge afterwards. So I get all the benefits of the sauna without being like hot and exhausted for half an hour after the sauna, right?
That's going to be nice during summertime too, because it's so hot outside. Like that would be a good time to combine those two.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you were saying,
they're very combinable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. What were you saying about sleep? So, like, do you guys
Mm.
sauna like every night before you go to bed?
Not every night, but we try to at least a couple times a week, because the reason why the sauna is so good at for sleep is because if you do it right before bed, you go to the sauna and you get that hot. And then when you
Mhm.
come out and you recover, your body actually tends to sit at a lower body temperature in response, which makes it
Mhm.
easier to sleep when you're not, because when you're really hot, it's hard to sleep, right? And if you
Yeah.
naturally, like Chris is a hot sleeper, like he
Yeah.
naturally just has a hard time sleeping because he's too hot.
Yeah.
So for him, it actually brings his body temperature down a little bit, and he sleeps more comfortably at the same temperature that would have been hot for him on another night when he didn't
Yeah.
sauna.
Oh,
So
that's
it actually
interesting.
does affect sleep, interestingly enough.
Huh. I never thought about, I mean, I can see it in the point where it's relaxing and you get warm and cozy, and like I can see that point, but I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. There's so many fascinating things about it. The big thing that we have found is that it's overall for your wellness, it's
Mhm.
amazing. But then when it comes to, when we were really big into weightlifting, for a year, we hit that pretty hard. And we've been into that. It really helped with our fitness too, I feel like we could feel the difference that
Recovery.
it made for recovery. Yes. And then like the cardiovascularly overall, there's been a feeling of generally feeling better. It's like when you are going to the gym and you're eating all the right things and you're hydrating and you just generally feel really good. And then you stop
Mhm.
doing all those things and you become the couch potato and you eat the junk food and you stop hydrating. Like you stop doing all the things and you can feel
Feel the
the
difference.
difference, right?
Yeah.
It's like that for sure. Like it just even more so, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, I mean, it's been fascinating. I mean, and we will include in our show notes, obviously, ways that you can sync it with your cycle. Like that's a whole thing too, very similar to the cold plunge, but we'll include that in our show notes as well.
So since I'm gonna buy one at like a tent type, the do you recommend, like, how long do you think I should go in it?
I think that for starters, you really, I mean, the way that I cold plunge, and this is the way that I honestly think that all women should, is you really have to listen to your body, because
Mhm.
every day there's so many factors involved in how that session's going to go, right? How well did you
Mhm.
hydrate? How well did you sleep? Where are you in your cycle? Are you coming down with a sickness that you don't even know yet, right? There's so
Yeah.
many factors that could be affecting the way that you feel, that there were some times I just felt like I felt the stress at 10 minutes, versus sometimes I've been in there for 20 and been like, I could stay here for 30 minutes because I'm not
Yeah.
feeling like it's even stressing me a little bit.
Mhm.
And so at the beginning, I honestly, for beginners, just recommend just feeling how you feel. Like maybe set a goal for 10 minutes. And then if at 10
Mhm.
minutes you're like, I'm like, you got in and you were like, I don't know, I'm barely starting to
Yeah.
sweat, I feel
Yeah.
fine. Then it's like, so
Yeah.
stay longer, but feel it out. And if you're dripping sweat and your heart's pounding, if you start to get dizzy or nauseous or headachy, I feel like those are three signs that you should probably just end that session. That's a sign that your
Yeah.
body's feeling enough stress that you
Yeah.
should get out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna try it.
I'm
I'm gonna
excited
go
to hear.
down the world of sauna life regularly, because I do love saunas,
Yeah,
but not I don't do it regularly to make it to really see the benefits of it.
which is crazy because you can sit in there for 25 minutes at 170 degrees and not even bat an eye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know, because we were talking about like how weird was that I could do that, and I was like, I don't know why, but I do think that, like, when you work out, the more you work out, the quicker you sweat because you're used to the sweating.
Right.
And I have not been very good about working out lately, so I was attributing it to that. Like, I wonder if I did it more and started my sweat glands more, then if it would help, if that's a symptom of that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's
Because if you don't
possible.
work out hard and you don't sweat, I mean, the harder you work out, the more easier it is to sweat. And
Yeah.
maybe that's what I need though. I need the sweat. I need a detox, and that will take care of me. A workout, make me feel like I do a workout.
I almost wonder if you worked out right before you saunaed, if that would make the difference. Because you clearly have a higher heat tolerance. Just the fact that
Yeah.
you were a beginner, like you hadn't
Yeah.
saunaed in a long time. and you got into the sauna when you came to visit and it was like nothing, you might need to warm your muscles up with a workout before you get in, just to counteract your higher heat tolerance, because everybody's different, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
I could see that for sure. We just need to, if you get a tent, then we're going to have to get you a Viking hat. So let me know and I'll send it.
And we have to include the picture just so that everybody can see what we're talking about, because it is hilarious.
Yeah, I will.
It's really, really funny.
I think I have there. I actually do recommend those. There's like heavy wool caps you can get, because a lot of times like your head just it's higher up in the sauna, like heat rises. And so it's a lot harder to get your core temperature high because your head is getting hot so much faster, right? So if you put on an insulating like wool cap, it actually insulates your head so that your body can get hotter and you actually get more benefits from that. Like, you're not trying to cook your brain, right? You're trying to get your whole body hotter.
So do you think I should wear one of those in the tents that only goes up to 140?
I don't know. I feel like that's something that you should experiment with, because I mean, they're like $12 on Amazon. So
yeah, I'll definitely get in and try it.
Also, for me, it's just fun to wear a Viking helmet every time I sauna.
It is fun. I'm not going to lie. It definitely adds a way more excitement to the sauna experience when you get to wear a Viking hat.
It does. It's you gotta have fun with it, man. There's only one life here, so
I agree. It's hilarious and it's super fun and it's fun. It definitely makes it super fun.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. So one thing to make sure that you do when you sauna, just as far as sauna tips go, is make sure you hydrate heavily coming out, and that's not just drinking water. Put a little salt in your water. Make sure you're replenishing the minerals that you're shedding when you are sweating and detoxing, right? And so usually we'll just do mineral waters. Like, we'll do some Perrier or whatever, San Pellegrino, and just have them in the fridge. Or hydrogen water. There you go. See, I'm over here drinking my soda and Larissa's being super healthy, drinking her hydrogen water.
You're depleting your magnesium, Malerie.
You know what? The fact that there's not wine in this means that I'm winning. That's all I'm going to say. I kind of wish there was wine in it. It's that kind of day, but that's okay.
Well, if you do it based on your day, like, women could have that every day, because we're constantly in 50 million different areas at the same time all the time.
Oh, it's so true. I honestly use the sauna as like a meditative space,
Yeah. Oh, I can see that for sure.
I do it for the cold plunge too. Like, it's so funny because I get in and I do 6 minutes at least, if not like 9 at these days, now that I've been doing it for a couple of years in the cold plunge. But I get in and like the first few minutes, I close my eyes. I don't even open them. I get in, get through those first like 30 seconds where there's the shock, and I close my eyes and I listen to whatever song I'm listening to. And I visualize my day. And so that's really like my visualization space. And then when I get in the sauna, that's like a reflective space, right?
Yeah.
It's just silence. You're not bringing anything in, no music or anything, because it's so freaking hot, right? And so that's a big like reflective. And I love using those places as more than just, doing healthy things for my body.
The health thing.
Yeah, more than the mentally.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right, because in the sauna, you don't have electronics in there. Like you don't have any distractions. You're not reading in there. You're not doing anything in there. And it's really time to just meditate and reflect on how you're feeling of the day, or, that's impressive. I actually never thought about that, but that makes me want to sauna more, because then it's kind of like it forces you to narrow your like, let your mind just naturally like process.
Yeah. And on the days that I don't sauna with my husband, I do try to actually meditate in there, because it's just, I don't know. I feel like the trying to meditate in a more stressful environment like that is more impactful. I don't know why. Like, it's just, maybe it's because my body needs the distraction. So I wholly focus on it more. I don't know, but I really love it. It's very rewarding for sure.
I never thought about that. That makes me want to do it more just for that benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think, especially in modern day world, I feel like we have so many things going on around us all the time that we're busy all the time. Like there's always something on, there's always music, or there's kids, or, you know, like your job or your work, or, you know, like there's always stuff happening. So I do like that, though, both of those biohacks force you to just focus on the moment and just be present, and really think about you and what you want out of it. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, no, I love it.
I
think I agree. It's like a lack. There's so much stimulation in the world, right? Like we're constantly entertained by everything. And so to have times where it's just taking a step back and feeling uncomfortable. I don't know if you've ever read the book, The Discomfort Crisis, or The Comfort Crisis. Sorry. Have you read that?
No, but I'm going to now.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal read. Like he really just talks about what intentionally making yourself uncomfortable does to make you feel alive. You know what I mean? And so anyway.
And I think that there's also things where, like, even with our kids, like making our kids feel uncomfortable, because as moms, we'd go out of our way to make sure that they don't ever feel uncomfortable. That is like also not helping them, right? Grow up and mature and be able to be functioning citizens and make the world a better place.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's probably it for today, but thanks for joining us.
Our key takeaways, let's re-summarize what we just talked about. So our key takeaways, my key takeaways is that we want the heat proteins that helps with our cardiovascular, and we want to get above 150 for dry sauna, but infrared is still great, and it helps detox, it helps our cells rejuvenate and all that fun stuff. And we have to stay hydrated. We need
start slow.
We need minerals. And in sauna, I think, is an easier sell because it's comfortable. There's not a lot of discomfort.
There's less of it, right? And it's also more readily available. So like check your local gym or check your local community center and give it a try, because honestly, this one, if you can even work it in twice a week or even once a week, it's still going to have benefits. They're going to help you long-term. So it's worth giving it a try. And
it's been around for like the entire world, like life of the world. So it's been around forever. So it's not like it's something new. It's just...
Yes, it's time tested for sure. That one, the most time tested for sure. Although I'm sure the Vikings cold plunged back in the day. Come on.
Well, now that's what I'm going to think about every time I see. I'm going to get one of those hats, and I'm going to think about the Vikings cold plunging.
Cold plunging and sauning. That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, make sure you come and join our community, My Wellness Rewired, the Facebook group. We would love to see you over there if you haven't already. And if not, you have regular challenges. I'm sure we'll do a sauna challenge at some point. So in the meantime, stay strong, and we'll catch you next time on My Wellness Rewired.
Or stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty. That's right. All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.